UFC 167 here at SBRForum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak, and we're talking right now with Nick Kalikas, professional MMA odds maker. His website is MMAoddsbreaker.com, and we are also talking with MMA analyst and former UFC fighter Frank Trigg. All right, guys, now we're going to discuss Woodley and Koscheck. The line is pretty even. Right now I'm seeing Koscheck minus 120, Woodley plus 100 on the other side at 5 dimes. And the issue here basically is just, is Koscheck done? You know, he's pretty clearly on the downslope of his career. Looks like he's fading. Got knocked out by Lawler in his last fight. Then he had an injury, had to pull out from the Maia fight. And, you know, Koscheck's best days are behind him. I think everyone would agree with that. The question is Woodley at his level? Frank Trigg, what do you think?
Here's the problem. This is the first time that Woodley's going to be facing somebody that's a mirror image of himself. It's very, very difficult to face someone that looks like you. Well, not doesn't look like you, but looks like you as far as fighting goes. Right. So it's very, very difficult to prepare for a guy like that because you're preparing for yourself. With that being said, Koscheck's going through the exact same thing. So all things are being even. They both make the same weight. They're both fighting themselves when they're getting ready to fight. They're both warming up in the mirror. They're both fighting the mirror. When they go out there and fight each other, you have to go with the younger, faster, stronger guy. So the younger guy obviously is Tyron. The faster guy is Tyron. The stronger guy is Koscheck. So 2 out of 3, you got to lean towards Tyron because he's just the guy that's ready. He's a newer version. He's a younger version. And he's very, very smart, trained hard, trained well, but it's Josh Koscheck. This guy, even though he's had his best years of his fight game are behind him now, he definitely still has a lot of passion and fight to go after it. I still worry about the fact that he moved back to Fresno and left Maine, AKA, up there in Northern California because he needed to get away from Javier Mendez. There's an issue in there when you're still part of the team, AKA, but you're not part of the head trainer, head coach, and he kind of shoos you off. I don't see Koscheck getting a lot of guys that come down to Fresno and train with him very, very hard. So I'm leaning towards Tyron Woodley, even though this fight's can be very, very close. I see Tyron winning a very, very close, could even be split decision.
All right, Nick Kalikas, we have kind of a classic situation here, right? You know, a veteran kind of, you know, on the downslope of his career facing a guy stepping up in class. You know, is he on his level? How's the public been betting it?
Crazy. I mean, two-way action all over the place since
it
opened up at like $250 max limits. They got max bets all over the place. Up and down the line went and it settled to where you are now. And I opened it minus 125, minus 115-ish. So almost a pick 'em exact, but a little bit more, obviously, the slight lean was towards Woodley because of those reasons actually Frank just mentioned. He is a little bit of the younger, fresher fighter at this point, but I do think it's a difficult fight. I could see Koscheck. I think he's actually the better wrestler, but that's going to be tough because I don't think he's going to be able to really take down Tyron Woodley that easy. I mean, but offensively, I do think Koscheck's the better wrestler, and he's got the better cardio in this spot too. Has a lot of knockout power, as we know. But again, what Frank mentioned, I think the wrestling ability of Tyron to keep it on the feet. He's a little bit faster. He's got knockout power himself. Koscheck shown kind of a suspect chin, obviously, in the past as well. So that might not be a good formula for him as well. So if it goes to the cards, it's a guarantee almost that it's going to be one of these split decision type of close calls that everybody's going to kind of scratch their head and wonder who won. So it's going to be that type of fight. If not, we're going to see it end inside probably, and it's probably going to be Koscheck getting knocked out.
But it sounds like from a betting perspective, you're going to get a lot of action. It's going to be roughly equally balanced, and you know, you're going to make a little bit money on the juice, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to try to keep this fight definitely a little bit more balanced out there. I think it's a smart thing to do, and maybe let the public kind of cut their own throats a little bit if they do sway it one way or the other. But again, I'm not going to count Koscheck out in this spot. It's definitely a winnable fight. He knows his back's against the wall too, and needs to get the W here. And Woodley, you know, he's been in spots in several fights too. With his cardio lets him down. He's a little bit inactive at times. So Josh Koscheck's the more aggressive fighter, and again, I gave him the cardio edge as well. So this is a tough one.